Hey guys, it's Keenya Kelly, business calibration consultant for KenyaKelly.com. And if you brand it, I am super excited to have you guys here with me every single morning, Monday through Friday, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern Time. If you are watching this on the replay, thanks so much for watching on the replay. You can always comment, like, subscribe, and share on the replay. If you comment on the replay, I will be sure to comment back to you. If you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for watching on YouTube. You can always subscribe to my channel to watch all of my previous videos, the things that you want to know about me and the things that you don't. You can go to youtube.com/KenyaKelly81. That is youtube.com/KenyaKelly81. But for those of you guys that are watching this live, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to the Keenya Kelly Morning Show. Super excited to have you guys here with me. My name is Keenya Kelly, business calibration consultant for KenyaKelly.com. And if you brand it, I help entrepreneurs to figure out in the core of their being who they are, build a business around it, and then brand it. Okay? So if you work with me, I'm going to help you figure out who you are and make money from it. You hear what I'm saying? And so it's important to make money, right? Money isn't everything, but if you're going to live this life, it's important to figure out who you are, do it on purpose, and brand it, all right? So this morning on the morning show, what I wanted to do is I want to spend some time just talking with you guys about 3 tips for a long-lasting business, okay? So 3 tips for a long-lasting business. Now, one of the things that I completely understand is that, in today's economy, in today's world, it's important to have multiple streams of income. And so I come on here and I teach people how to not only build a business, but if you're working a business if you're working your job on a full-time basis and a business part-time, then of course, you've got to figure out some balance. And so this morning, this is for the full-time entrepreneur or the part-time entrepreneur. I'm going to talk to you about 3 tips on how to build a long-lasting business. All right. And so I'm going to tell you what we're talking about, which is tip number 1, which is short-term and long-term goals. The second thing is going to be marketing. The importance of marketing, and then the third thing is staying current. Okay, staying current. All right, so 3 tips on building a long-lasting business. Now, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing this video, I'd appreciate it so much. But let's go ahead and get into today's morning show. So one of the tips for building a long-lasting business is that you've got to have goals. Okay, you've got to have goals. Now, my thing is this. I am a very, very big proponent of you got to figure out what's going on today, and then you've got to figure out what's going on tomorrow, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. So let's talk about those in detail. So when you begin to start a business, right? Listen, the number one thing you don't want to do when building a business plan, your branding, your website, and all that type of stuff is you don't necessarily want to build for who you are today or what you've got today or the person today that is buying from you. You've got that, and the best of your ability, you've got to have vision, okay? You've got to have vision. So what does that mean? That means that you have to try as hard as you can to figure out what that is going to look like 10, 20 years from now, okay? Now, granted, over time, things are going to change. It's just natural that things are going to change. But for long-lasting business success, when you're creating your business and all of that, you've got to think about long-term, okay? So the number one thing I would tell you to do is to think long-term. Now, what does that look like? What that looks like is this. When you begin to pick the colors for your brand, you've got to think about, okay, yeah, today that green is a beautiful color and gold is a beautiful color today, but the color trends change with seasons, right? Like we just came into fall, and so the colors for fall are normally like autumn type of colors, like orange and browns and things like that. Even the vibrant red changes in the fall. It changes up a little bit. It's still red, but it's not quite summery red, right? So everything changes. So you've got to think about, you can't just build a brand and your brand colors for who you are today. And then your brand isn't about you anyway. It's about the folks you're trying to attract. And so what you got to do is you've got to think about the people that you're trying to be servicing 10, 20 years from now. So if you could do anything, I would say talk to somebody. Let somebody else see your business 10, 20 years from now and help you come out with those long-term goals. Now, long-term goals are even more important because business is not easy. Let's just keep it all the way real. Business is not easy. And so what that means is that you're going to get to a point in your business where you're going to want to quit. Like, I promise you, you're going to get to a point in your business where you're going to want to quit. And if your goals are not bigger than today, if your purpose is not bigger than today, then you may find yourself quitting. But if you look at your long-term goal and is that you want to retire yourself, you want to retire your spouse, you want to retire your parents, or you want to be able to put your kids through college, those are long-term goals. Those things will allow you to have a pity party for a day or a couple days, but then dust yourself off and get back up, okay? In business, you're going to have those long-term goals. Now, I also mentioned that you need to have short-term goals, okay? Because if you don't have short-term goals, you won't be able to praise your own progress, right? Again, in business, it's not easy. Business is not easy. It can be fun. It can be exhilarating. You can make a lot of money. But at the same time, there's a lot of work associated with business. Whereas when you work a job, you have one thing to do, right? One thing to do. And then they're telling you what time to come in. When you operate a business, nobody's telling you what time to come in. Nobody's telling you to get up out of bed and nobody's telling you any of that stuff, right? And so you have to be motivated, meaning that your short-term goals are going to motivate you, okay? And your long-term goals. Okay, so number one, we said for long-lasting business success was you must have short-term and long-term goals. The second thing that I said was that you need to have marketing plan, right? You need to have some sort of marketing plan. Now, what does that mean? Now, what that means is that, you have to have a plan for those long-term goals. How are you going to be reaching those people, right? If you want to have all these people to buy from you, right? To invest in you or to be a part of your coaching program or whatever it is, you've got to have a marketing plan to reach those people, right? Now, when I'm working with my clients and I help them identify their target audience, I help them to understand that your mom and your dad and your cousin, they're not your target audience. They're just not. Because if they are associated with you, they are less likely to want to buy. They're less likely to want to pay full price because they can just text you. They can just call you on the phone, right? When you look at your business, right, you have to look at who it is you're targeting 10, 20 years from now, and you have to build a marketing plan to reach those people, right? Because even though you like your colors and you like your product, you are not going to buy your product from you. You're just not. It doesn't even make sense. Hey, Erica, you're not going to buy your product. You're just not, right? And so you have to sit down and say to yourself, okay, when I'm looking at those long-term goals and I'm creating this marketing plan, who is this plan going to reach, right? So let's just say that you're trying to reach young adults, like very, very young adults, right? Well, more than likely, you're not going to be able to find them on Facebook, right? And not to say they're not on Facebook, but most of them are not on Facebook. Most of them are on Snapchat and Instagram. So what does that mean? What that means is that if that's your target audience, not only do you have to learn Snapchat, right? Not only do you have to learn Instagram, but you have to learn Snapchat and Instagram marketing, right? Because you can't get on Snap and Instagram doing the same things you would do on Facebook. That's just not how it works, right? Not to mention, you also got to say to yourself, it's not just Snap and Instagram, but what other ways is that audience receiving information? Maybe like celebrity endorsements or some influencers. Are they reading blogs? What type of blogs are they reading? Whether it's advertising through Tidal or Spotify or iTunes, whatever that is, right? You've got to figure out how all those things work, right? Now, this is one of the reasons why business is tricky, because you don't just get to do the thing you love to do, right? Like, we all have that one thing, two things that we love to do. But when you're running a successful business, you're going to have your hands in the pot of a lot of things, at least initially, until you're able to generate enough revenue to hire people to help you in those areas. Do you hear what I'm saying? And so number 2 was you have to build a successful marketing plan, right? Now that doesn't mean you've got this extensive plan, because if you're brand new, you're like, wait, what? But you do have to have some sort of plan. Now, in that plan, you're going to have some money, right? Like, Facebook ads are not free. Instagram ads are not free. Snapchat ads are not free. Graphics aren't free, right? Websites aren't free. So what does that mean? You have to have a plan. You've got to make sure that you have your place where they can buy, meaning that you got to have some sort of website, right? Because if you start advertising, people are saying, well, how do I go and buy it? And so you've got to have a place for them to land, right? So you've got to have some sort of website. You hear what I'm saying? Then you've got to have, maybe it's videos or graphics or whatever. You've got to have those things. You hear what I'm saying? So again, we're talking about 3 tips for building a successful business. And that was tip number 2, marketing. Tip number 1 was having short-term and long-term goals. Okay, so number 3 for that, I said earlier, is that you have to stay current, right? Now there's a whole lot of things you got to do to have a successful business. But these are the 3 I'm talking about today. You have to stay current. What does that mean? She said no Wix websites, right? So what does that mean to stay current, right? So what that means is this. The things that worked yesterday are not going to work 6 months from now, right? Now, as you guys know that... I used to work in the newspaper industry. I sold advertising for a long time in the newspaper industry. And I remember how we started to feel the effects on our commission, because people were not spending as much money on the print product, and they were looking for ways to advertise and make more money. And, here's one of the things that I saw after I left, and this is really, really, really sad. So we used to have a base of like 20-something thousand, 30,000, something like that. I think it was like 20-something thousand. That was your base. And then you had the potential of making a whole lot of money in commission, right? And one of my biggest months at the newspaper was like $7,000 in commission, right? One of my biggest months. Well, a year, 2 years after I left the newspaper, I found out that not only did they take away commission, and not only did they take away their base, but that they all started getting paid like $15, $16, $17 an hour. Do you hear what I just said? Like they took all their money away. You hear what I'm saying? And why is that? Because from a business standpoint, they had to reroute. They had the GPS rerouting, right? They had to realize that all the money is not coming in from this group anymore. And so we can't keep giving them all this money if the money ain't coming in. Why is that? Because the newspaper industry changed, right? Like, just think about it. We get all of our information now from social media. Like, it's 8:30 in the morning or 9:30, wherever you are, and you're watching this broadcast, right? Or you'd have looked at something this morning, right? And so people are more likely to make more money in their business from social media than they would the newspaper, right? Whether it's the print product or it's online. Why? Because social media is got everybody's attention. You see what I mean? And so it's important to stay current. Now, I'm not saying you got to be glued to the newest Facebook ad update or all the updates every single day. But I do recommend that at least every 90 days to 6 months, you begin to take a look at what's working and what's not, if anything has evolved, right? I remember with our Instagram account, and I'll tell you about this, our Instagram account for Return of the Curls, we used to get like 300 new followers a day, right? 300 new followers a day. And over the last year, it like dwindled. We started getting like 10, 15 a day. And it was just like, what is going on? We're still doing the same thing, but we realized Instagram had changed. And so we had a task on our hands. We had to learn what changed, what's working. What is it that we need to do to not only make sure we are increasing our followers, but, giving our followers what it is that they want and then generating revenue from it. things change, right? Now, some people may say, well, you got 54,000 followers on Instagram. That's cool, but if you want 500,000, then that's not cool. You're far away from the goal, right? So you have to stay current, okay? And that's in whatever business that you are in. You have got to stay current. I'll give you another example. We all used to go to Blockbuster. How many of y'all ever went to Blockbuster? If you went to Blockbuster, just type a 1 for me, right? We all have been to Blockbuster, right? And got a video, popcorn, whatever, right? And then everything changed, right? Then there is a red box, right? A little box just popped up at Walgreens and CVS. And so we stopped going into Walgreens and we stopped going into Blockbuster and we started going to the outside of Walgreens, getting the red box. You standing out in your car behind somebody you don't even know, waiting to get a movie, right? And then now we all have subscriptions to Netflix and Hulu. Exactly, Erica. And so now you just click and click, right? It's like it's so funny. I was on watching TV the other day and I wanted to see a certain movie and I looked it up and it was like, oh, you can purchase it for $2.99. Now I was like, I got Netflix, I'm not paying no money, right? But what if I really wanted to watch that movie? I wouldn't have had to leave my house. All I had to do was click and I buy the movie right then and there. That's powerful, man. And things evolved. Now, I don't know if the owner of Blockbuster is in cahoots with Netflix and Redbox. I don't know. But what it looks like is that Blockbuster didn't stick and move. They didn't evolve, right? They didn't stay current with the possibilities. And so, boom, bam, they had some challenges, right? So, listen, I want you to think about you and I want you to think about your business. What are you doing for long-lasting business success, right? I just gave you 3 tips today. So, let's go over them one more time. So the first thing I said was short and long-term goals. Short-term goals are for today. Long-term goals are for 10, 20 years from now and will keep you going, right? Number 2, I said was marketing. You've got to have some sort of marketing plan and you've got to be doing marketing. Period. Because if nobody knows you exist, nobody's going to buy from you. Your mama is only going to talk about your product or service for so long when she's talking about something else. You hear what I'm saying? So you've got to be marketing, have some sort of marketing plan. All right. Number 3, I said stay current because things change every single day. You hear what I'm saying? Things change every single day. And I'm not saying is you got to update everything every day. But what I am saying is you got to do a pulse check, okay? You've got to do a pulse check every 90 days to 6 months and what's working in your business and what's not. Otherwise, you're going to be looking like, well, what happened, right? But if you're staying current on your stuff, you know what's going on, right? I'll just tell you guys, for me, one of the things that I do is I surround myself with young people. Now, I'm not old, I'm 36, but to a young person, I may be old, right? But I surround myself with young people fresh out of college. Why is that? They just came out of college, right? So they're learning things that I didn't learn when I went to college, right? And so I can get into their head and we can stick and move and we can make changes to our plan for our business. Does that make sense? Not only that, is I always work with coaches and not just regular coaches. I work with people that are constantly evolving. Why? Because if she is in the area of this and I'm not, she can help me with that. If he or she is in an area of this and I'm not, they can help me with that. Like I tell people all the time, I spend a lot of money, even money I didn't have, on coaching because I understand is that if I'm going to go from here to here, I can't do it. I don't even know how to go from here to here. But if this person is up here and has traveled the road that I'm going on, let me give you my money and then you please help me get to that next level. And that's exactly what I've been doing. One coach was $10,000. The next coach was, I think like $12,000. This next coach is $10,000. That's a lot of money. It is. But guess what? Every single one of them, I've been able to generate a minimum of $50,000 as a result of working with them. So have I made my money back? Yeah. And I'm still making my money back because why? I'm implementing the strategies that they taught me. You know, I'm like, it's not over. It's like systems and automation. I knew nothing about that. That runs my whole life right now, right? It's like right now, you know, one of my coaches taught me about Live Lead. I didn't know about it. I pay $19 a month to Live Leak. I go live on one platform and it shares to all my other platforms. Who knew? I didn't know that existed until she told me it existed. So my whole point is that sometimes you have to invest in getting a coach, right? So with that, you guys, that's all I have for you guys this morning on the morning show. But I do want to invite you guys to do two things. One, if you want to join my email list where you get free tips and tricks and all that type of stuff, you can go to KeenyaKelly.com and just enter your email address. Good morning. You can enter your email address and it will share with you how you can join the Keenya Kelly email list. So just go to the website KeenyaKelly.com and enter your name and email and you'll be on my email list. But if you want to work with me directly, I have two options. You can do a 30-minute discovery session or you can do a 60-minute strategy call with me, okay? So 30 minutes of discovery or a 60-minute strategic strategy session. All you have to do is go to KeenyaKelly.com, click on work with me in private consultations. And so that's it, you guys. Now, don't forget that if you brand it, they will come. If you brand it, they will come. So God bless you guys. Have a fantastic Monday, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.